Now our target's available for use. So at this point, what we want to do is go back to our original system that we were working on for our backups. And we want to be able to use the built-in iSCSI initiator with the DSS V6. We go to Setup, iSCSI initiator. And here we would want to put the IP address of the other DSS server. So that way we're going to log on and being able to initialize on that target to be able to use as a dynamic unit. We'll put the IP address in, and the port is standard 3260. We're not going to use challenge handshake authentication protocol for this purposes, but you can for security reasons. Now here is the target that was created on the destination server. We'll click here to enable it, and we're going to connect. As it's connecting, we can now then go into, once this completes, we will be able to, at this point, to use it in our volume manager and assign it as a dynamic unit. So let's wait till this comes up and it's complete. There it is. And we verify it. And there we see available as a unit. So now we can go into our configuration volume manager under volume groups. And here you're seeing now the new target, which is the 100 gig that we've created. So now we can create this to be a dynamic unit as well. But of course it automatically assigns to dynamic unit 2. Now what's valuable here is the unit S004, which is the target from this destination server of DSS that we created for this target. This can be replicated. So your data has a higher availability. So this is very important in order to think about it. If we go to our maintenance into our backup, you'll also see that we'll be able to create another backup device. So here you'll go right into the backup device and select Dynamic 2, and now you're able to create a new backup tape device that is utilizing the iSCSI target that we've created for the DSS destination server that we see. So on the left you'll momentarily see it. Here it is, Dynamic 02, and here we can create a very large tape device. So that basically assists on how we're able to use the backup functions with USB drive, a RAID array or a RAID controller, and now with an iSCSI target to be able to create a tape device. You can also use fiber channel. In this instance, what we want to be able to show you is that the iSCSI and fiber channel are similar. If you were to do the same thing, you would for fiber channel, you would take the configuration volume manager that you want to create an a fiber channel logical volume. So here, if you were to create a fiber channel volume, set it for a target mode. The defaults of block size 512 is fine. We don't need to initialize it, though you can. And at this point, we'll just set another 100 gig. Now, what you would need is a fiber channel HBA for the other server for DSS to be set for initiator mode. So now this DSS, you would have to have a fiber channel, and here's the fiber channel volume that we've created. And then we would just go at this point to configuration, fiber channel target manager, and be able to assign your fiber channel target. Now default is set, and here you'll be able to assign that logical unit number for this group or create groups. By default, we have the write back enabled for performance reasons, but you can have write through. And now once you enable it, then you can do the same principles of what we did with the iSCSI to be able to bring it in through the DSS via the initiator, and then be able to present itself as another volume available or unit into our unit manager. So then you would see it as another dynamic capability to be able to use it as a dynamic unit. So you could use it as a backup. So you can see there's a lot of features to be able to use with the backup functionality with DSS. Well, now there's going to be one last function I want to be able to talk about with the backup functions is to be able to use your tape drives and tape libraries. We're going to be using another system for this, and you'll see that we are using a tape system, tape library here. You will see the tape drive on the left immediately. So when you install your tape device, your tape drive or your tape library, we will immediately see this into the backup functions. So if you look on the left here, we have tape drives, and of course now once it sees all the tapes, you have the capabilities of labeling tapes. This allows us to be able to apply to whatever slot to label it, create the label, let's say test, the pool name. Here we've created a pool name called pool. These functions with the erase or limit size is similar to what we've created from the other ones. So again, you can specify the size of the tape, either megabyte or gigabyte. Typically, not many set the limits of the tapes for the tape pools. Usually that's done from the either USB, the iSCSI target, or from array to array or array. But here we'll just leave the defaults because if you leave it, it takes the whole size. You can label it with barcodes. Here you can also use it for, if you have a barcode, make sure that you have a tape library system that has the barcode capabilities. You can please check with your vendor on that. So here you see that we've just created a new tape, and here we see that the information is available, first written, last written, tape retention time, operation of the slots, it's in progress, and the tape tool operation is in progress. So you'll see some information here related to the tape functionality. If you notice, it's going to take a few minutes, so what we can do at this time, go back to our restore and talk about the restores and perform one of them. So we go back to our source system. We'll go right into the maintenance and backup. And look at our schedule. And here we'll see that our schedule has been kicked off. Let's go look at the shares to see if our data has actually been in there. So here I have basically a connection to the DSS server. I've created, here's our data that we are backing up from. And this is where our database we have. Of course, it's blocked out. We can access it if need be. And let's take a look at our shares. And here we see the backup database. And you can see the backup database is already working. Now let's go ahead and perform a restore. Let's go back into, it looks like we need to find out why our backup job did not perform. Let's take a look at our backup tasks. And let's create one just to make sure that everything was perfectly set. And here we go, no logs found, and it found the shares. And let's create another one just for rehearsing reviews. So here's what we're going to do. We'll call another one called backup 1. Select logical volume, select the share, apply the share to the assigned shares, and of course going back that you need the snapshot 00. It'll automatically assign it, but you can use other snapshots. We're going to select the pool 1, do a full backup. Oh, I have an error name. There we go. So here the message is error invalid backup name may only consist of, so we'll call it 1, backup 1. So it cannot be, it says backup name only contain following characters. So we'll go job, backup. Okay, so let me figure out why we're having a backup job name. Let's call it test. Let's try the other logical volume. And if you notice that we've already assigned a snapshot for the other backup task. So we'll have to create another snapshot for that backup. So let's go back up to our configuration volume manager in volume groups. Go to VG00. Create a new snapshot. And we'll assign the snapshot to the logical volume. And then on the bottom, you'll see the snapshot will be assigned to that logical volume. There we go. And now we go back into our backup tasks. Select our logical volume. Immediately it sees the shares. Now we have the available snapshot to be able to use for a backup task.